The world was a cacophony. Noise, demands, expectations. My inner world mirrored the outer one, a tangled mess of anxieties and frustrations. I felt adrift, unmoored, lost in a wilderness of my own making. There was a constant, gnawing sense that something was missing, a void I couldn't quite name. Work felt meaningless, relationships hollow. The pursuit of external validation left me emptier than before. I was a hamster on a wheel, running tirelessly, but getting nowhere. My soul, starved for nourishment, cried out in silent desperation. One cold, grey morning, I woke up and knew things had to change. This wasn't living, it was merely existing. The thought of continuing down this path filled me with a deep existential dread. It was in that moment of raw despair that a flicker of hope ignited within me. I decided to seek a different path, one that led inward. My journey began with a single tentative step, a yoga class. I was drawn to its promise of stillness in the storm. As I moved through the poses, something shifted within me. I became aware of my breath, the rhythm of my body, the quiet whispers of my inner world. For the first time in a long time, I felt a sense of peace. I started meditating, clumsily at first, grappling with the incessant chatter of my mind. Slowly, I learned to quiet the noise, to create space for something deeper to emerge. I devoured books on spirituality and philosophy, each one a breadcrumb leading me further down the path. The more I explored, the more I realized how much I didn't know. It was both humbling and exhilarating. I was shedding layers of conditioning, dismantling old beliefs, and starting to see the world with fresh eyes. The journey wasn't always easy, but it was undeniably transformative. Word reached me of a spiritual teacher, a guru who lived a simple life high in the Himalayas. Something called me to him. I felt an inexplicable pull, a deep knowing that he held a piece of the puzzle I was trying to solve. Leaving behind the familiar comforts of my life, I embarked on a pilgrimage to meet him. The journey was arduous, a physical and metaphorical climb. As I ascended the mountain, I felt a sense of shedding, of leaving behind the burdens I had carried for so long. When I finally reached his remote dwelling, I was exhausted but strangely exhilarated. His presence was both grounding and electrifying. He didn't offer easy answers or pronouncements of truth. Instead, he listened with an intensity that felt like a spotlight shining on my soul. He spoke sparingly, but his words carried the weight of lifetimes, resonating deep within me. He taught me about the illusory nature of the ego, the self that we construct through thoughts, emotions, and experiences. He spoke of the interconnectedness of all things, the Section 5, Echoes of the Divine. I spent weeks with the Guru, soaking up his wisdom and learning to integrate this newfound understanding into my life. The more I connected with my true nature, the more I saw its reflection in everything around me. The whisper of the wind, the crashing of the waves, the laughter of a child all became echoes of the divine. Returning to my life felt like stepping into a familiar movie set. The scenery was the same, but I had changed. The things that once held so much power over me, the need for approval, the fear of failure, the relentless pursuit of more, now seemed trivial in the grand scheme of things. I carried the peace of the mountains within me. It wasn't that challenges and difficulties disappeared, but I now faced them from a place of centeredness and clarity. I had found my anchor in the midst of the storm. Section 6. Finding my tribe. As I navigated this new way of being, I felt a deep longing for connection, for others who understood this journey of the soul. I sought out like-minded individuals, drawn together by a shared thirst for authenticity and spiritual exploration. We formed a community, a sanctuary, where we could support each other's growth and share our experiences. Through meditation circles, retreats, and heartfelt conversations, we held space for each other's transformations. We celebrated our victories, offered comfort during times of doubt, and challenged each other to keep evolving. These connections became lifelines, reminding me that I wasn't alone on this path. Our conversations weren't filled with spiritual jargon or lofty ideals, but with the raw and messy realities of living a spiritually aligned life in a world that often felt at odds with such pursuits. We shared our struggles, our insights, and our unwavering belief in the power of love to heal and transform. Section 7. The work begins. The journey of spiritual awakening isn't a destination, but an ongoing process of growth and evolution. It's about integrating our spiritual insights into the fabric of our daily lives, showing up with authenticity and compassion in all our interactions. It's about recognizing the divine spark in ourselves and in others, even when it's hidden beneath layers of pain, fear, and conditioning. It's about choosing love over fear, forgiveness over resentment, and connection over isolation. It's about using our voices to speak our truths, to stand up for what we believe in, and to be a force for positive change in the world. It's about embracing the messy, imperfect beauty of being human, knowing that we are all works in progress, always evolving, always becoming. Section 8. A return to love. The journey home to ourselves is ultimately a return to love. It's about reclaiming the love that we are, the love that connects us all. It's about letting go of the limiting beliefs and self-imposed barriers that prevent us from experiencing the fullness of that love. It's about opening our hearts to the possibility of a world where compassion, kindness, and understanding prevail. It's about recognizing that we are not separate from one another, but part of a vast and interconnected web of life. It's about remembering that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, here to learn, to grow, and to love. And it's in the loving, the learning, and the growing that we find our true purpose, our deepest fulfillment, and our most authentic selves.